Joshua Free, and we are resuming Mardukite TV Season 4. In this season, we have been talking about books, and lots of books. I don't plan to slow down any there. So what we are going to be talking about in this latter part is going to be dealing with the actual revival concept of the Necronomicon, as it first began with primarily the Simon work, because this is how it was integrated most practically, specifically concerning the Anunnaki semantics, Babylonian, Sumerian. Later in the series, we'll get more into the more Lovecraftian interpretations of the concept and the birth of maybe this word, Necronomicon. Of course, we all understand this. You know, we get so many correspondences and letters here at the office, and we all understand that this word Necronomicon may have really appeared first in public, view in the fiction of H.P. Lovecraft, and there's no dispute about that. However, what this has come to mean, what it has come to represent, and the traditions and the systems that have attached to it is a whole nother thing. And I believe that's probably one of the main reasons why with Simon's the Simon Necronomicon, one of the main reasons why people kind of feel hesitant or that it's a hoax is because it presented itself as if it was that Necronomicon of H.P. Lovecraft, that he had a copy of it, that this work that had been passed down for hundreds of years had somehow maintained this Greek name Necronomicon. Well, that's not necessarily the position of the Mardukites and this new wave, new millennium Necronomicon tradition at all. However, again, what it comes to represent as a result of Simon's work, because the most widely distributed of all works that carry the title Necronomicon, of course, is the famous Simon edition, and we've all seen it. It's in paperback form. It's sold nearly 1 million copies, and it's of course based on something older. The Avon paperback came out in 1980, and it's only been rivaled in the occult by really one other main book, which is funny because it's also published by Avon Publishing, and that's the Satanic Bible. So what we're going to be talking about, the analysis, the Mardukite interpretation of the Simon Necronomicon, is actually found as derived from our version of the 9 Gates of the Kingdom of Shadows. This is an excellent anthology available at NecroGate.com or Mardukite.com that it explores quite a bit that was not examined previously in our series. So now in the late 70s, the Simon Group put out a pretty prestigious hardcover. I myself, I'm a fan of the second editions, sometimes referred to as the silver edition, because the cover is a little more symmetrical for my taste. But they put this out. This is what the Avon paperback is actually based on. And so, had things gone a little bit differently for the Simonian group, the Necronomicon probably would have made a public appearance even sooner than it did. They were really something I've had experience with myself, and came to the same results. Difficulties finding the right publisher, the right publishing medium, a company that is going to understand what the artist wants to do. And this is something you look in books. You look at the music and the movies and the artistic media out there, and this is always a big concern. So, in the mid-1970s, they were ready to go. The Avon paperback didn't come out until 1980. So, while this Cthulhu mythos had drawn a growing subculture of cult fiction fans, into this Necronomicon archetype, it seemed, no one really wanted to touch the project, and again, this is something I've had a similar experience with. Not usually because of the merits or anything like that, but because of the context, the concept of the Necronomicon. So, either they weren't taking it seriously, or people were afraid to take it seriously, or, in many cases the project was just believed to be doomed to fail. And, those who've worked with anything related to the publication of a Necronomicon, they'll understand, and the actual truth of the situation is somewhere between all of these. When confronted by such barriers, a creative artist has like two choices. You can abandon the project altogether, or you can do it yourself. And those of us who felt strongly enough about the mysteries and have not been blessed with spiritual contracts to blatant commercial success from the start, those that are self-honestly determined enough to see the work through, in spite of the personal discords and suffering that usually will result from many of the arts and commerce driven by passion. But we usually take it upon ourselves in the shadows of the mainstream to do what we feel we must, against the odds. So sadly, it's only when the art is brought out of the shadows that it becomes subject to public scrutiny, in the public, in the realm of light, where most of the work doesn't belong in the first place. So this presents a serious spiritual or mystical dilemma, which is confronted by, every secret society or occult organization has dealt with this, and it's basically, how do you deal with the publicly written word?